You know it when you see it. It's one of the most iconic buildings in the world. We're at the Guggenheim Museum, opened in 1959 by Frank Lloyd Wright. The whole thing looks like a spaceship landed in the middle of Manhattan. It doesn't match any of the Gilded Age mansions all around it. It doesn't match the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and that's kind of what makes it so great. We're here, we're going to take a little tour, look around, and show you some of the cool things that we've stumbled on. The backstory here is that Wright hated the architecture of the time. He referred to Manhattan in the mid-century as the tyranny of the skyscraper, and his design for the Guggenheim was meant to fight against that. It was considered organic, meaning he wanted the structure to flow organically from the ground, and so that's why you see here what he calls an inverted ziggurat, which is essentially a circle that widens as you go up. The project took 16 years to complete, and Frank Lloyd Wright didn't even survive till the very end, passing away only months before the opening. We're in the Great Rotunda right now. It's 92 feet from floor to ceiling. They call it the Temple of Spirits. The ramp itself stretches a quarter mile, and when Frank Lloyd Wright designed it, he intended for people to start at the top. He wanted people to see the artwork organically as he walked along. Not surprisingly, the museum was founded by Solomon R. Guggenheim, who was an avid art collector at that time and had a wealthy family in the mining industry. And so he set about creating a museum that could show all the artwork that he had collected during that time. He worked with an artist named Hilla Riebe. She was a German artist who also was put in charge of the foundation. And so she became the curator for the original Guggenheim, and she was the one that set about looking for Frank Lloyd Wright to put together this whole beautiful building. Surprisingly, not everybody was on board with this building when it opened. Louis Mumford of The New Yorker at the time wrote "What Wright Hath Wrought," which criticized his design entirely, saying that he imposed unconditional surrender on the rival artists that were going to be showcasing their work there. In fact, during the construction, the New York Times even published a letter that was signed by many of the famous artists at that time criticizing the construction. People like Robert Motherwell, Franz Klein were very much against the structure of this building, thinking that the artwork needed to speak for itself and that the building was a distraction. So now we're on Museum Mile, and why are you going to go to the Guggenheim versus another option? The Guggenheim has kind of carved out its own space, presenting artwork that's maybe a little more dangerous than you might find elsewhere. Typically presents avant-garde, contemporary pieces, things that are a little more offbeat, hence the chains. We're in the Tannhauser Gallery here. This is part of the Guggenheim's permanent collection. This is where you're going to see some of the really big names that everybody knows. Cezanne, Picasso, Connect magazine, things like that. Vincent van Gogh, When There Aren't People in the Way, Lautrec, who we've had in the magazine, even though he's dead, don't tell him. Degas! Remember Ferris Bueller? No, you don't. Yeah. Pissarro. Currently, the Guggenheim has the Carol Bove exhibition. She's a sculptor. She's very well known for working with steel. She created what she considers her forest. She takes steel and she makes it look soft. She likes to have a neutral background, like a dark gray, and then she hits it with a splash of color. So it's kind of right up our alley at the magazine. And she does just amazing magical things with steel. So you should definitely check that out. It's going to be on display from now until August. All right, let's be real. When you're here, you're going to want to touch the artwork. Do not touch the artwork. But the Guggenheim is kind of cooler than most because with Carol Bove's generosity, they opened the tactile library, which kind of represents the work they have on display, and you can actually come here, pick it up, touch it, you know, try not to break it, but it's meant for that. So you've got all kinds of forms, you've got steel, so you can come here, have fun, get it out of your system, so that when you go back out onto the ramp, you don't grab something and get kicked out. So why else should you come here? Neurodiversity programs, which is phenomenal. You can come here for classes, you can come here for sketches. They have a Sunday afternoon that you can come by and literally just sketch in one of their galleries. There's kind of a million reasons to come here, but come here. See Carol Bove. You can check out their permanent collection. Carol will be here till August. The permanent collection will be here till after we're gone. Most importantly, I just want to thank our good friends at the Guggenheim who have been patiently waiting for a very long time for us to get this finished. Thank you to the whole team over here at the Guggenheim for making this happen. Come on down. Those are cool glasses. Oh, you don't speak English. Never mind.